Mr. Eric Asante needs no introduction. His cruel story of how he suffered incarceration as a result of lies told by a student of his has already been told on this platform. A DNA test led to his acquittal on the very serious charges of defilement. On the day he was acquitted at the Supreme Court of Ghana, he requested compensation but was asked to bring fresh proceedings. He did, and he intimated to the Supreme Court that for more than 13 years, his freedom of movement had been unjustly curtailed. From 2005, when he was arrested, to 2017, when he was released, he had suffered so much trauma and sought compensation from the Republic. He also wanted to be reinstated as a teacher and to obtain all his salary arrears. Mr. Asante further filed documents showing financial losses and damages totaling more than 7 million Ghana cedis. He had computed all his losses. For the past 13 years, he had lost his salary, part-time teaching wages, extra classes wages, and had lost opportunities to improve his life, and had suffered significant mental and psychological anguish. The court took the view that indeed Mr. Asante's case was one which fell squarely within the remit of the law under Article 14, 5 and 7 of the 1992 Constitution. He was indeed entitled to recompense. The court acknowledged that persons who suffer wrongful convictions may experience psychiatric and emotional effects. They display symptoms of PTSD, and they exhibit feelings of bitterness, loss, and hopelessness. The law, as laid down in previous decisions, is that general damages is the only typical remedy available to a party whose liberty had been wrongfully infringed upon. These damages are to be modest and reasonable sums that will not open the floodgates. Anything else that the party wishes to bring to the court must be proven. In arriving at the amount, the court takes into consideration the gravity of the offense, the period of incarceration, the stigma associated with the offense, and the seriousness of the injustice meted out to the person. Now here is where it gets interesting. Before the judgment came, it was indicated to the court that Mr. Asante had been reinstated as a teacher, and accordingly, the court did not make any determinations on that request. The court, however, carefully looked at his 7 million cedis request and concluded that he had failed to prove any of it. The losses of part-time teaching wages, extra classes, lost life opportunities, mental anguish, and all of that had to be proven. The compensation that can be paid under the Constitution is only for a breach of your right to personal liberty. Any other losses needed to be proved with admissible evidence. As a result, all those requests were dismissed. Indeed, the court indicated that the mental or psychological losses he claimed to have suffered needed to be explained with precision. He needed to show what exactly he had suffered to warrant the huge amounts he was asking for. The judges looked at Eric Asante standing before them, and they observed that he appeared healthy. He seemed to have handled prison well, and in their view, he did not look damaged enough to warrant the massive compensation he was asking for. 13 years behind bars for a crime he did not commit, and the court said he did not look traumatized enough. The court then had to compensate Mr. Asante for the constitutional breach. How much is a person to be paid as compensation for 13 years of wrongful imprisonment? The court turned to precedent. In Dojisaba and the Republic, a person who was wrongfully convicted and sentenced to death but was later released was given 35,000 Ghana cedis. In the court's view, that was a more serious offense compared to Mr. Asante's, but the court still used a multiplier of 3,180 Ghana cedis as used. 3,180 Ghana cedis was the stated amount for each year he lost multiplied by 13 years. The figure came to 41,340, which was rounded up generously to 45,000 Ghana cedis. 45,000 Ghana cedis for 13 lost years. What do you think? Was the compensation sufficient? Is the Supreme Court's approach equitable? Follow Super Law G Studios for more real stories, real cases, real people.